CEO of a health and wellness company that Tony has invested in. Remember, Tony doesn't half-step. The only reason Tony invests in something and puts his time into something is because it's the best. And Kyle's going to talk to you about the key to a global breakthrough in your own health and wellness and energy. So you know how we roll up in here. Tear the roof off of this thing, ladies and gentlemen. Make some noise and help me welcome to the stage, Kyle Zadrotsky. Come on, Kyle. They are all yours.
Awesome, thank you so much. It is such a privilege and honor to be here because I'm going to share something very important with you. We've all seen many examples of an idea that comes along, is so powerful that it utterly changes the world. It's my privilege and honor to share with you an idea that is in the process of doing that right now for the first time publicly in the United States. Once you understand this idea, it's going to utterly change the way you see many aspects of your physical health in ways you had no idea. Those who are experiencing it right now are seeing an entirely new level of freedom because they have more energy, more strength, balance, agility. They have better posture. They're reversing joint and back pain. And as they age, they're eliminating or reversing or avoiding osteoporosis and type 2 diabetes. This idea is so powerful that it can strengthen the entire musculoskeletal chain at the cellular level, and it's so effective that it can disrupt hundreds of billions of dollars every year in healthcare costs around the world. So, what is this idea, this key to a new level of freedom? Well, consider this analogy. Building your house upon the sand would lead to utter disaster. We know that you build your house upon the rock, and in this analogy, your skeletal system is the rock foundation of your body. Your skeleton is like rock in many ways in that it represents the single greatest concentration of minerals in the entire ecosystem of your physical body. And your house, or every other part of your physical body, is built upon this rock foundation, your skeletal system. And what we have discovered is arguably the single most important idea in human physical development in decades. It is a technique whereby you can strengthen the skeletal system for just about anyone at just about any age. But people really aren't talking about strengthening the skeletal system, and there's two reasons for this. Generally, it's because they don't fully understand how to strengthen the skeletal system, or they don't understand the impact on an individual's life or on society. So to help you understand how important skeletal strength is, you need to understand the central nervous system and the way it relates to your own physical strength. You see, most people don't understand that your central nervous system actually regulates your strength based upon the strength of your skeletal system. And to put it this way, if you've ever done strength training and you've hit a plateau, or you've known somebody who's experienced that, it probably doesn't have to do with their strength training methods or their exercise or even what they're eating. It's most likely that their central nervous system is protecting them. You see, your central nervous system will not allow your muscles to become stronger than what your skeletal system can handle. And to put it another way is this: as your skeletal system decreases in strength over the years, your central nervous system works to regulate and equalize your muscle strength right along with it. And it's important to note that the average human being will lose between 1% to 2% every year in bone density and skeletal strength. And skeletal strength conditioning, we have found, unleashes physical capabilities in ways that no one ever thought possible. And just by strengthening the skeletal system, we are seeing people increase their physical strength, their balance, their agility, their posture. They're reversing joint and back pain, reversing osteoporosis and type 2 diabetes. It is arguably Skeletal strength conditioning can lead to a global breakthrough in physical health. It is that important. So how do you strengthen the skeletal system? Well, it's been known for over 100 years that the way you build your bone density and the strength of your skeletal system is with pressure, right? A lot of people have heard that. In fact, we assume that the amount of pressure you experience is all good. A little bit of pressure does a little bit of good for your skeletal system. A lot of pressure does more good. Well, a researcher came along in 2012, and he wanted to definitively answer this question: how much pressure does it take to actually trigger osteogenesis, which is the development of healthy new bone tissue? And what he found was extraordinary. The people in his study could not experience osteogenesis unless they experienced 4.2 times their own body weight in pressure. That's extraordinary. What's also interesting is that for the subjects that hit less than 4.2 times, regardless of frequency, were unable to trigger even a little bit of osteogenesis. It was like the boiling point of water. If you didn't hit it, you didn't experience the healthy new bone tissue. So what I'm here to do today is to let you know that we've actually cracked the code. And I don't even have my cooker. Doesn't matter. We cracked the code. We've developed a system that allows people to experience 4.2 times their own body weight and much, much more, regardless of their age, their body type, or current physical condition. And they could do it without injury. I would show you a picture right now, but I don't have the clicker. There it is. Cool. Go back a slide. That's the system. We call it Spectrum. Woo! Spectrum is the first-in-class, patent-pending, robotic musculoskeletal device, and there's nothing else like it in the world. And what we thought was one of the most difficult systems of the body to develop, the skeletal system, actually turns out to be one of the easiest once you understand how to do it and you have the actual tools to do it. Because on this system right here, with a session that only takes about 5 to 10 minutes, one day a week, that won't make you fatigue or cause you to break a sweat, awesome. I don't know how this works. Oh. You won't break a sweat, you won't get fatigued, and you won't feel sore the next day. It's that simple. And so there was a researcher who heard about what we were doing, and he's like, okay, these are incredible amounts of force on the human body. And so he wanted to conduct a research study. And he wanted to find out what impact we were having on developing the skeletal system. And so his study selected members of our population that are most vulnerable to skeletal weakening, which are postmenopausal women. Because he knew that if our system could help out that population, that it was truly extraordinary. And so what he did was he took this group, and in 6 months, he did a before and after scan of their bone density. He measured their results. And in 6 months, on average, they saw a 14.7% increase in their skeletal strength. Woo-hoo! Considering that the human body loses about 1 to 2% per year, this is effectively reducing the age of the skeletal system by almost 15 years, but he did it in 6 months. So, thank you. We got the results of that study, and we decided to compare it to several other studies. In fact, there was a study done by the New England Journal of Medicine, and they did what's called a meta-analysis study, where they look at 152 different studies that dealt with the question of what builds bone density. They looked at weight training, yoga, vibration plates, supplements, walking, and even pharmaceuticals to figure out the answer to this question. All those studies were 1-year studies, and they were all conducted on women who were postmenopausal. Those 1-year studies were then compared to the results of our 6-month study. Our new system dominated the field. Thank you. But earlier, I said that the central nervous system will regulate the strength of the human body, your muscles, based upon the strength of your skeletal system. So what kind of effect does it have? It's important to note that that system you just looked at has the ability to measure the maximum static force production of muscles every time somebody does a system, every time somebody does a session. And we are able to track that information over time. Maximum static force production is one of the most pure measurements of physical strength of an individual. And so what we did was we looked at 500 people over 4 years with an average age of 52. Now I emphasize the average age of 52 because 52-year-olds generally don't get stronger year after year. And what we thought is if we can just stabilize a person's strength over 4 years, that would have been a success. If we could increase, however, strength by 10 to 20%, that would be a victory. 4 years, 500 people, average age 52, they saw a 290% increase in strength.
Woohoo!
There are athletes that unfortunately take illegal steroids because they have to be competitive, that cannot duplicate that result. But I'm also here to tell you that there are billion-dollar corporations with massive marketing budgets whose goal it is to convince you and everybody else that they are the only solution to dozens and dozens of health problems that could otherwise be solved and avoided worldwide, saving the civilization of our world hundreds of billions of dollars a year that could otherwise be solved just simply by strengthening the skeletal system. You see, we are a group of small business owners and entrepreneurs, and we just partnered with Tony Robbins recently. We share a mission to spread this concept and this idea around the world. We are OsteoStrong, and we're building our house on this rock.
Woo!
I have 2 invitations for everybody here. First is that Tony, Sage, and I would love for you all to experience this level of stimulus for what it could do to the human body. And we've arranged for you guys at any OsteoStrong center around the world to experience 2 free sessions. Tony insisted, thank you. Tony insisted 2 free sessions because, in his experience, mine, and everybody else's, is the stimulus is so powerful that you will see results that quickly. But I have another invitation for you as well. So about a year and a half ago, a little over a year ago, Tony heard about OsteoStrong and had done research on our company and wanted to see for himself. So he came out to meet with me, see an OsteoStrong, experience our system, and he got excited about it, and he wanted to be a part of the movement. And so in December of 2016, we became partners. And he insisted something that was kind of funny at the time, but I totally respected it. I'm glad he did. He insisted that he would get to own 3 OsteoStrong centers of his own. Tony got excited about OsteoStrong because he loves helping people, obviously, and he understood that we want to take this global and help millions and millions of people around the world. And that's the reason why Tony chose to be part of OsteoStrong. There's a lot of reasons to do business with a guy like Tony, but the main reason why I chose Tony was because I was choosing all of you. See, I've experienced this system myself and what it's done for me and what I see every day, and I'm on a mission to take this concept around the world. And please don't take this as I'm not interested in selling you guys anything. I don't want to sell you guys an OsteoStrong franchise. I chose you guys because you share my values, you share my commitment and passion for helping other people, and I couldn't think of better people that I'd like to do this with than all of you.
Woo!
Give them a hand, ladies and gentlemen. Come on, give them up. Give it up. Kyle Sakrowski, ladies and gentlemen. Come on. You go. Hold on for a second.
Okay, real quick, guys. Sorry about that. You're supposed to do that. I'm going to be over in section 8 and 9 with my team later the rest of the day. If you guys want to talk to us, or if this is something you're excited about, I'd love to shake your hand.